Hey, welcome to Sensible Living Podcast and Blog, episode number 1. I'm your host, Michael McGregor. Today I want to talk to you, everybody, about basically your shelter system for your bug out bag. And this isn't really necessarily your bug out bag per se. This is what I would call your get out of trouble, your emergency bag. This is a smaller get moving. It's all a part of roughly about a 20-pound bag system. I would try to go close, much lighter than the 20 pounds. I know some people walking around with 16 pounds to 18 pounds on their getaway bag. Not to be confused with the bug out bag, but this is, you know what, gray man style. You got stunts going on and you got to get away. Or this is just your emergency pack that you're doing a day hike with. It's going to have your shelter system, your fire system, your weather gathering system, and first aid. So let's talk about your shelter system. So with your shelter system, you need something to sleep under, sleep in, and sleep on, along with cordage and also some tent stakes. So something to sleep under. We have military style rain poncho that creates a wonderful cover. Also, it protects your first level of shelter, which is your clothing. You know, you got a downpour, you want to keep your first shelter, your clothing, dry. So you put on your rain poncho. Now, you need to create your shelter, take off your rain poncho, and you can make a lean-to, an A-frame, or even a diamond frame with that to protect you from the elements. Sleeping under. You can also add to that is one of those little emergency blankets with the Mylar on the inside, orange on the outside. You want orange because this is your emergency. That's a rescue signal. Lets people know, hey, look for me. Hey, the bright orange, you're noticed in the woods. Camouflage, you don't necessarily want that if you're looking to be rescued. If you're looking to hide from somebody and keep away, then yeah, you want your camouflage. So you have something to sleep under. We have a poncho. We have emergency blanket with the Mylar because you want that heat to be radiated back. You want the heat from the fire to radiate back to you. That's why we choose one of those. Something to sleep in. Something to sleep in, we have two choices here. We have, say, I'm actually going to throw out a product name because I actually like it. The Snug Pack Special Forces Bivy Sack. Thing's absolutely incredible. Something with that one, actually, even though you can sleep in it, you can also sleep on it. You can actually stuff that with leaves, and that creates your sleep system. It creates a padding, so you're not sleeping directly on leaves. So let's focus the Special Forces Bivy Sack to more something to sleep on instead of something to sleep in. So we're going to backtrack. The Bivy Sack, or any type of Bivy Sack, even SOF, SOE, survival, little Bivy Sack. You can stuff that. If you, let's say you don't want to work with that necessarily, you know what? 50-gallon, fairly thick, construction bags. Clear or black, it doesn't matter, but you can stuff those with leaves because you don't want the convection of the ground to suck your body heat away from you. That's not a good situation. So you want to be up off the ground so you're not having the ground pull away your system. As far as something to sleep in, we have poncho liner, a whoopee. Many people, most of you should know what a whoopee is. That's your poncho liner, military grade poncho liner. That's something to sleep in. You can wrap yourself. Also, you know what? Back in the day, wool blanket, 80% wool. You know, you can go down to a local Army surplus store and you can pick up a wool blanket for around $25, and that's an 80% wool. And you know what? That will keep you warm. So you have your poncho, emergency blanket, as something to sleep under. You have your bivy sack, something to sleep on. Trash bag, something to sleep on to protect you from that ground and from the ground to pull that heat away from you. Something to sleep in. You have your whoopee, or you have a wool blanket. These are relatively light. Now we can add one more thing. As I live in Colorado, and we are in the middle of winter right now, and we don't have too much snow. We just had a snowstorm come through over the weekend, but now it's all gone and dry. But we do a lot of mountain stuff, and you get these cold winds, wind chill factors drop below zero. What we got there right now is not really going to keep you nice and toasty in sub-zero weather. I can tell you that much. You might be able to survive, but you ain't going to be comfortable. But in order to be comfortable, along with that emergency blanket, which is usually about, I want to say, 5x9 emergency blanket. It has the little grommets on it so that you can run it as a lean-to. You can take a painter's drop cloth, one of those plastic ones, and you can make a super shelter with one of those. And with the fire burning next to that, you can get the inside of that super shelter. If done correctly, you can get out to about 75, 80 degrees inside there in sub-zero weather. So, the super shelter could be the difference between freezing and staying comfortably warm. Now, as far as cordage goes, I prefer two types of cordage. Number 36 bank line. And I like Titan cord, which is 660 military grade paracord, but it's called Titan cord. The reason that I prefer Titan cord is that it has basically a copper snare wire. It has jute string that you can use as a fire starter. You shred it out and it easily starts the fire. And it also has basically like a fishing line in there. So, and because of those three added on to the paracord, you get not 550 but 660. The nice thing about Titan cord is normal paracord throughout time you're gonna have to cinch it up. It's stretch, it's dynamic. Titan cord is static, so once you lock that in, you're good to go. And I use basically two types of knots when using that. I use a bowline and a trucker's hitch, and a couple, half hitches to keep it tied. Now, we're not going to go into knots this episode. I'll have an episode later on, and we'll actually have a how-to and show you how to do those knots. And also later on, we'll do how to set up these systems, the sleep systems, so that you can actually see it visible. And then as far as tent stakes go, I actually prefer the cheap little aluminum ones. They're fairly thin. Walmart, they're like 76 cents each. They're usually kind of like a orange rust color, as I kind of stumble on my words here. And with those, they're 76 cents. I run about 6 of them. That's about it. If I lose one, I lose one. You're not going to replace it for 76 cents. They work as tie downs and toggles and everything else, and it actually will help protect the grommets on your shelter when I show you how that we can thread them through onto the tent stakes. So that's what we have for an emergency shelter system. We have something to sleep under, something to sleep in, and something to sleep on, along with cordage and tent stakes. Make sure, you do your best. Go out there. We'll probably have a little bit of a blog written up over on the website for you guys to take a look at, some gear lists and stuff like that. And if you do choose to buy some of the gear lists, if you do choose to buy some of the stuff off the gear list, please use the Amazon affiliate link. It doesn't cost you anything extra. However, it does help support this show and all the nice stuff, so I can get gear for reviews, because I don't, no one's giving me anything for free here. So, and if you're going to be buying stuff on Amazon, use our affiliate link. That way, it costs nothing for you, but the Sensible Living podcast and blog will actually benefit a little bit out of that. Not too much, but it's a little. something, that helps the show continue. And we will have another episode tomorrow. And I would like to say thank you very much for listening in. Please like and share and tell your friends all about Sensible Living Podcast and Blog. The more people, more followers we get, the better things that we can do and bring you. And you have a wonderful day, and I am signing out. Night all.